Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Julie Mann. I'm also known as the Habit Fixer, and I love helping women who really want to regain their mojo and age well. And I do that with EFT, which is a really simple tapping technique, nutrition, skincare, and digital products. And today I'm joined by Henriette Dannell. And Henriette is a coach. She's just, I can't even say it, Henriette, a strategic business coach and also a client attraction coach. She's a speaker and a podcaster. So I can't wait to hear what you've got to say, Henriette. I believe you're going to be talking about 3 habits to attract continuous clients.
That's correct. Yes. And thank you so much for having me, Julie. I really appreciate it. And when you asked me to come on, I thought, oh, I love habits, because habits is that one thing that either you get it or you don't. And I'm going to talk about the 3 habits to continuously attract clients. And I think, this doesn't just go out for people who are in business, but it also goes out for anything else that we want to attract in life. So if it's okay with you, I'm just going to jump in and I'm just going to get going, because there's so much that I want to share with you today.
Please
So
do. I can't wait.
amazing. Thank you. So you can see I'm very excited about this. So when we talk about the 3 habits to attract continuous clients, for us as business owners, the first thing that we kind of feel that when we go into business, it must be very hard to get clients. And we instinctively then overcomplicate things because we want something so badly in order to grow our businesses. We think that it is complicated to get. But that's not the case. As human beings, unfortunately, we just complicate things for ourselves instead of just going back to the basics and understanding what is it that we need to create and we need to do. In otherwise, what is those habits that we need in order to simplify things for ourselves, in order to continuously attract those clients. So I'm going to share the 3 habits with you, and I'm going to explain it in very simple terms so you understand it as well, and you can start implementing these habits from the get-go. Imagine that there's this big door in front of you, and on the other side of this door is everything that you want. Okay, there's the clients, there's the potential growth, there's the opportunities to go and travel the world, there's opportunities that you might have never even thought about. Anything you want is literally behind this door. But to get through this door, you need 3 things. And these are the 3 habits that I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to go through each one of them at a time. The first thing that you need to go through that door is going to be the key. Now, in this particular case, the key represents your mindset. And this is the first habit that I want to talk about. What is your mindset like in order to unlock that door and to go through it in order to receive everything that's on the other side? And this comes back down to, what is that habit that you are creating to set your mind up for success? What is that habit that you have every single day that is helping you, stimulating you, but at the same time, working with your vibrations? And I'm a spiritual person. I do believe in energy. I do believe in vibration. So I will talk about it. You see, at the end of every day, we always go to bed and we think, oh my gosh, I haven't done this. I haven't done this. I haven't done this. Instead of going, wow, look at what I've achieved today. Look at what I've accomplished. Even if it's just the smallest conversation you had with somebody, that is an accomplishment, because you never know. Just through one conversation, you might have intrigued somebody, you might have triggered something for them that could set them up for success. So at the end of the day, your mindset starts with something very small as a habit that you can use every single day to set yourself up for success for that day. We don't have to talk about long term. Yes, people talk about long term goals. But when it comes to attracting clients, you have to understand that it doesn't come through the action alone. It starts with that first habit of working on your mindset. So, what could that habit look like? For me in particular, my suggestion is a meditation. The first thing that you need to do before you actually start your day, as soon as you get out of bed, is just to have, even if it's a 10-minute meditation. And it doesn't mean that you have to sit there and just go, oh my gosh, I can't meditate. I've got to do this because Hen said I have to do it. It's not about that. It's about just sitting for 10 minutes, even if it's just saying thanks and being grateful for everything that you have in life. And at the same time, being grateful for the day that is ahead of you. Because for that habit, you will find if you do this first thing in the morning, just for 10 minutes, your mind is already going to start changing the way you think and the way you approach every single day. So, habit number one is your mindset. Practice gratitude, even if it's just through a meditation. You can easily do that. Don't grab your phone first thing in the morning. Don't go on social media, because unfortunately, what you're doing is you are giving your energy away to something else. Instead, absorb the energy that is going to give you a great and an amazing and a fun-filled day. And that starts with that first habit. Once you've got the first habit, and I would challenge you to do it at least for 7 days, I promise you're going to see a difference. Once you've got that first habit underneath your belt, the second habit that I want to talk about is the second element to open that door. Now, this is the locking mechanism. You've got the key, you need a lock, right? You need to unlock that door. Now, if you've seen a lock, if you've seen the mechanisms inside, they've got little pens, and each one of those pens need to actually line up with the key in order to unlock the door. So in this particular case, the pens within that locking mechanism really are the strategies that you're using in your business to attract clients. Now, this comes back down to what we talk about, even if you want to use the word marketing, absolutely fine. Same principles throughout. But the main thing is that those strategies, those pens in the locking mechanism, they've got to line up with you. They've got to line up with that key, with your mindset. So that's why I'm saying the first habit is to practice that mindset, practice that gratitude, get used to the meditation, because that's going to line up then with those strategies that you need. And then really, when it comes to attracting clients, there are only 4 strategies that you need. There are only 4 pens in that locking mechanism to open up that lock. The first strategy is your visibility strategy. What is it that you're doing to attract and to be visible with? Now, I'm not just referring to social media here, because this is where a lot of people go, I'm doing so much. It's not just about social media. There's so many other ways to be visible. Then from your visibility strategy, you move to your second strategy, and this is your attraction strategy. What is it that you're putting out there to attract people to you? Now, this can go very deep, and we can talk for hours on the attraction strategy alone, but you have to understand that your visibility strategy feeds into your attraction strategy. And then from your attraction strategy, that feeds into the third strategy, which is your relationship strategy. What is it that you're doing to build relationships with your audience, with people? And what is the quickest way you can build that relationship and have a conversation with them whereby they eagerly want to work with you? They're so curious, they're so excited. And this is unfortunately also one of those big strategies where people struggle, because in the relationship strategy, you also have to sell your services. Big thing, a big obstacle for so many people, but it can easily be done if you know how to align it with you. And then the last strategy is your transformation strategy. Your transformation strategy is really what it is that you're doing to take your client from where they are to where they want to be. What is it that you're doing to help them transform? And once you've got those 4 strategies in alignment with your mindset, with your key, you're going to find that actually everything becomes so much easier. So how does this come back into the habit form? The habit form is once you have clarity about what it is that you need to do, what your strategy is, you've got to make it a habit. You've got to do it once, you've got to see the results, and you're going to go, amazing, this is working. Phew, I don't need to do everything. I know now what it is that I need to do. And then you just rinse and repeat. Make a habit of going through the process again, repeat the strategy. Repeat it again, repeat it again. And this is not something you have to do every single day. If you have the right strategy, this is something that you could possibly even repeat once a month or every 2 months, depending on your strategy. But knowing that you're going to get the results at the end of every day. And guess what? Once you get those results, your confidence spike up. And when your confidence spike up, you go, I know this is working. I can do this again. And that's where you start upscaling your strategy, because once you have a strategy that you can also upscale, then you incorporate that into your habits. Okay, what is it that I did yesterday that worked for me so I can repeat that again today? What is it that I did last month that worked for me so I can repeat it again this month? And it all comes back down to your clarity on what that strategy is. And that's why I say you're going to unlock that door. Because once you've got that door unlocked, the only other thing that you've got to do is open the door. And this leads me to the last element of getting through that door. This is the handle. And in this particular case, the handle represents the action that you've got to take. Now, once you actually open up that door, oh my goodness, you can go through it. But this is where a lot of people struggle with the action, because even if they've got the right mindset, even if they've got the strategies, action is always one of those things that a lot of us struggle with, because you've got to understand that there are two kinds of action. I refer to one of the actions as inspired action. And inspired action is basically when you're so excited about doing something. I mean, let's take a silly example. If you know that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning to go on holiday, oh my gosh, 3 a.m., you're awake, you can't sleep anymore. You're so excited to get up and going. And that is called inspired action because there's something that excites you about it. And with that excited inspiration, motivation, you're going to go do it, right? The second type of action is what I call the efforted action. It is anything that you have to do that takes so much effort, whether it's thinking or physical effort sometimes. And that kind of effort is the effort that most of us struggle with because I have to post on social media, but I don't feel like doing it. I'm just going to leave it for later. And then later on, you still think, I have to post on social media, but I don't want to do it. Those kind of things you have to understand because efforted action is the biggest downfall for so many business owners. And where the habit comes into it is this. You've got to get into the habit of understanding what is it that you're doing that is the inspired action that really makes you go, yes, I want to do this every single day. This is the thing that I love doing. And what is it that are those mundane tasks, those mundane things that you feel takes a lot of effort in your business? Now, if there are things that you feel takes a lot of effort, you can do one of two things. Either outsource it, or if you're not ready to outsource, the other thing to do is to understand where your energy is at its peak. Meaning, where do you find that you are at your best in the day? Is it in the morning? Is it in the evening after the kids have gone to sleep? When do you feel you're ready and geared to go? And then whatever those tasks are, schedule them in that point in time, in that day, when you feel you've got the most energy. And you're going to find actually that you're going to get through a lot more of those tasks that take a lot more effort, whether it's mental or whether it's physical. And you're going to see that you're going to get a lot quicker through those tasks. So when it comes to the handle, when it comes to taking the action, it's about creating a habit for yourself and understand what your energy levels are so that when you open up that door, you are now ready to go through that door. So let's just quickly come back to it all. Basically, you've opened up the door, you've got the mindset, you've got the strategies, you know what action you need to take, but now you're standing in that doorway and you go, oh gosh, what if I go through this door and everything I wanted is not there? This is in most cases where the fear of the fear of failure comes in. Sorry, let me get it right. The fear of failure comes in. So many of us, when we're in business, we're scared that what if we don't succeed? What if we fail? The thing is, nobody can push you through that door. Not your friends, not your family, not your colleagues. You and you alone can step through that door. And you've got to take that first step and find out, is everything there that you've always inspired to have and always wanted to have and work for? But you will find in most cases, it isn't just there all at once. You got to go on a journey. You got to walk through that door and there's a little road and you've got to go down this road and it's going to start revealing all of these things that you wanted. Now, on the second aspect, a lot of people would stand in front of this door, gape at this big openness and go, what if I go through this door and everything just happens all at the same time? I don't think I can handle it. And this is where the fear of success comes in. In this particular case, people get stagnant and they feel, I don't want to move through this door because I don't think I can handle the overwhelm of what is to come. The same principle applies. Nobody can push you through that door. Only you and you alone can go through it. But you will also find that it's not going to happen all at once. It's going to be a little road that you've got to walk on, and it's going to be a journey. And then throughout that journey, the things will come to you. So don't let fear stop you from going through that door. Use the habit of actually just taking one step, one step, one step, one step. And through each and every single one of those steps, you will find that more and more opportunities come your way. More and more doors actually start opening up. So with those 3 elements to open up the door, you could understand that there's a habit that you've got to instill in each one of those elements. And once you've got those habits, and as we know, habits take some time, you've got to do it over and over again. And as you see those habits forming part of your daily routines of what it is that you're doing, life just becomes so much simpler, business becomes so much more fun, and you will find that you never have to struggle to ever find any more clients, because they will come to you almost out of the blue, as they say. So I hope you feel that these 3 elements will help you, but also understand that you've got to instill the habits underneath each of these elements in order to continuously attract clients. Thank you so much.
Wow. That was riveting, Henriette. Absolutely riveting. I need to go back and listen to that. So I do have a question, and I loved actually that you brought up fear of success as well, because I imagine a lot of people have more of a fear of success than perhaps they have of failure. Is that true in your experience?
I think it's about 50-50. I think it depends on where people are in their journey. I've had people who just starting out in business, and for them, the biggest fear is failure. Then I've had people who's already been a little bit into business, and the next step up scares the heck out of them because they know it's going to be successful, but they don't think they can handle it. So I think it's about a 50-50 depending on the journey and where people are at in their business.
Yeah. And what if they're successful and then it all disappears, all dries up, or that fear as well, I imagine, is a common thing too.
Yeah, I think the fear of loss is something that people think about, but they don't want to really express it because they just keep it as a worst case scenario in the back of their head. So they don't always want to talk about it. But for those people who have made a success, and if they have clarity about what those strategies are, what their mindset should be like, what the actions that they have to take, if they've lost everything, they still have all that knowledge to just start from scratch again and maybe do things a little bit even better. So it's not a loss. It is just, again, something that they've got to start all over again because they've got the recipe, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, that brilliant recipe. So another question about the connection between self-worth and success. Have you got anything to say about that?
Absolutely. I think success is very much overrated. And when we talk about success, the first thing people think about is in the form of money. How much money do you have in order to be successful? Success can be the tiniest little thing. For me, success is what did I achieve today? And I think this is why I started off with going to bed at night, thinking about what is it that you achieved today? Because every single one of those things that you've achieved in a day is a success. And it doesn't mean that it's got to be in a form of a sale. It means just this, us having a conversation today. I mean, we had a chat last night on LinkedIn before doing this today. To me, when I got your message on LinkedIn, I was like, oh, this is great. And I felt so excited going to bed, knowing that today we're going to do this recording and it's going to be a great success. And I'm going to be so excited to share this information. So when it comes to success, it is what you define it. And in order to be successful, you've got to understand what it means to you. So if you have to start from scratch again, think about just what is it daily as a habit, again, because we talk about habits, what is it daily that you've got to do and implement as a habit that will make you feel like you've had success at the end of the day?
Good point. And one more thing, honestly, I've got so many questions. How important is it to find a way to get into a state of feeling good, even if it's, peaceful or happy? I mean, I know there are lots of different degrees of happiness. How important is that? I mean, for me, I think when I notice that I'm not feeling so great, I become conscious of it. I suddenly, I then interrupt and I just ask myself, what is it that I'm needing right now to feel that little bit better?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this because people die and stuff happens, and you know, we're not always going to be happy, obviously, but I always find that a useful strategy to move myself forward, because I think it is my responsibility to make myself happy, and it's only me that can do that.
Absolutely, 100%. Only you and you alone. And I think, unfortunately, we do live in a world where the external environment constantly dictates how we should feel. And if you allow external information constantly dictate how you should feel, and we're all human beings, you know, it's okay. We do have emotions and we do need to go through them. But it's also to understand that if you do have a day where you're feeling down, you're anxious, you're nervous, you're worried, then recognize those feelings and go, okay, why do I feel this way and I don't want to feel about this way? So I kind of almost explain it as a way that, you know, your emotions are kind of like a compass telling you when you're in alignment or out of alignment. So if your emotions are all over the place, your compass is saying you, hey, you're not going in the right direction. But if you're feeling good, if you're feeling amazing, if you're feeling like today's an amazing day, the sun is shining, I'm going to go take my dog for a walk, your compass is going to be like this, going, yay, go for it. You're an amazing track. Keep going, keep going. And it's also good to understand that when your emotions are out of balance, it is your compass telling you you are out of alignment. You need to get back into alignment. And the way you can do that is by starting with the key. Setting yourself up for success every day through meditation. And I know when people talk about meditation, then people must go like, oh gosh, there's that word again. Honestly, even if you don't meditate and you just sit still or go for a walk for 10 minutes and just feel grateful for what it is that you already have in life, you're going to find that it's going to start overriding those feelings of not having enough, being anxious, feeling worried all the time. Because actually, you're going to start focusing on what it is that you already have. And those tend to be the things that kind of start diminishing those emotions of anxious, fear, worry. And it's just taking a practice. It's a habit. Again,
It's a habit.
just a habit.
It's
You've got to
just
start working on it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Henriette. So for those of you listening or watching, if you've been inspired by what Henriette has had to say, then please check out her links. They'll be below this video. Mine will be there as well. And get in touch with her and find out what she's up to. So Henriette, all there is for me to say is thank you ever so much for your gems. And thank you everyone else for watching.